Okay, good morning. We're going to begin the administration committee meeting this morning, and we are going to start with Board of Elections. I see you there, Lori. Good morning.
Good morning. The Board of Elections just has a few quick items. The first item is approval to pay Hart InterCivic $31,686 for our annual license and support. That's license and support for our voting equipment. We do have that funded in our contract line items of A 1450-549-000.
Okay.
Second.
Any questions or discussion for Lori? Okay, hearing none, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Yes.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent. Martini, Marietta, absent. Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes.
Okay, and the second one is approval to accept contract extensions for the following grants. These are grants we've had in the past. We should be closing them out pretty shortly, but they're the ballot by, you want me to do all three at the same time again?
Yes.
Okay, so the ballot by mail 2024, we have a remaining balance of $758.53. An absentee postage grant, which we have a balance left of $131.95. And this is cybersecurity remediation grant. And those grants run from April 1st through March 31st of 2027.
Okay, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion on the contract extensions for the grants? Hearing none, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent. Martini, Marietta, absent. Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes.
Okay, that's all we have from the Board of Elections. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Lori. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Okay. Moving on to Carolyn Cook, clerk of the board.
I just have one quick request today. It's a request approval to establish the standard workday and reporting days for the New York State and local retirement system for certain county officials. These are based on the recertifications or logs that they provide to me. This is our annual
Right.
resolution.
We have this list in the packet. Do we have a motion to approve?
So.
Okay, any questions or discussion? And go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent. Marietta, sorry.
No.
Martini, Marietta, absent. Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes. Thank you, Carol.
You're welcome.
Okay. While I'm thinking of it for Board of Representatives, I just got the email from NISAC about their seminar in the fall. It's supposed to be very popular. It's in Syracuse, so if you're thinking of going and you get the email about reserving a hotel room, just jump right on it. So that's my editorial comment there, and we'll go on to the next. Oh, Denise.
Actually, DSS.
Oh, sorry, DSS. Thank you,
But
Carol.
that's okay. They're not here yet.
Yeah, well, they're not scheduled.
And Denise is not scheduled yet, but
Would you like me to call
9:20.
Lisa?
We're a little early. Yes, yeah, thanks. Hi.
Lisa will be right down.
Oh, hey, Lisa, come on up here. Sit right here.
Thanks. Okay. Would like to request approval to contract with Opportunities for Otsego for case management services. You approved this last month, but I need to correct the amount on the record. Okay, so it's for $165,385.
So moved.
Do you have any discussion or
Is that
question?
up or down?
It's up by $385. It said 155 last month.
Okay, any other questions or discussion? Vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini,
Okay.
Marietta, absent, Powers.
Okay, passes.
Next, we'd like to request a contract with CDO Workforce for the contract for summer youth employment program not to exceed $204,042.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or discussion? Okay, hopefully you'll be able to get people to fill those jobs. We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini,
Aye.
Marietta, absent, Powers.
Okay, that motion passes. Thank you.
Next, we'd like to request a budget modification for the piece of the summer youth employment program money that ESS keeps in the amount of $20,179.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any questions or discussion? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini,
Aye.
Marietta, absent, Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
Thank you. And our last item, we'd like to request to create, fund, and fill a part-time social welfare examiner. It's 100% funded by Medicaid admin.
So moved.
You have a second?
Second.
And I see that a position is being unfunded to go with that. I can't remember. I thought I looked at it.
I don't think.
Oh, no, but it's 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Right.
0% local. So, okay. Any other questions or discussion? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini,
Aye.
Marietta, absent, Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
You.
Okay.
Since CDO was on here, just an update from our human services meeting. Their funding in 2025, their federal funding was 1.6 million with an extra 200,000 for training. Their 2026 funding will be 1.1 million with zero incentive for training. They're probably going to need to lay off one of their staffers. And they're out searching for new grants. Build up.
Oh, so that's the subsequence of the federal, not the county, by about 500,000 plus the training part would be another 200, so 700.
Correct. Just an update.
Thank
And I'll
you.
mention it again in our
Okay.
monthly meeting.
All right. So, Denise's section, Denise has been in contact with me this morning, and I do want to just say this for the record. I was on a phone call yesterday with the sheriff and with the SMRT representative and with Representative Wilbur. And we talked about the bond resolution and the things that would be going into the study for the 274,000 plus the additional 100,000. And while I got a better understanding of that, and I left that meeting feeling comfortable with being able to present today on that topic, I had a follow-up conversation with the county attorney's office where I think that some level of controversy was re-injected back into the discussion. So just to say it out clear, the original plans, the 274 would be for siting out jail, fire training, public safety building, I should say, fire training, highway, where would they all go? How would it look? I did not understand that also, that level of detail also goes down drilling into such things. And I apologize for not knowing enough to ask better questions yesterday. But that, and this is my feeling, and I see there's some people, I know there's people in this room who will be able to help me with this, but a yes vote, would that be for just like here, here, and here? But when we start discussing things like that are as concrete as what a staff would be jailed, what would be the staffing for that? I feel like that's of where we start hitting the choppier waters and would maybe be getting a no vote from some of our reps. So Denise recommended that, or no, she didn't recommend, she asked me what I thought. And I thought if she was not comfortable bringing this today, then that translated into a level of discomfort for me, just because of that area that I just talked about. I think that as a board, we really, really want to develop that property, and we really want to develop it in the best way that we can. If someday we need to put a public safety building there, then we need to agree on how to do that. This level of SMRT work, I'm not 100% clear on at this moment. So I agree with Denise that I would not push it forward today. Now, I know that sounds not in line with what how I finished that discussion yesterday with those other people. So I apologize for that. But I didn't know what questions that I should be asking. Anyway, so we're not going to be bringing that bond issue, and we're going to talk about it next month. Ian?
Maybe because we're not going to talk about it right now, I shouldn't talk about it. But I just have a question about precedence. You just mentioned $275,000 of SMRT with some sort of a contract or a plan. I just want to know, is there a past precedence in a committee to approve a bond resolution without anything in front of you that describes where that money would get allocated? Because that is what happened at Public Works. There wasn't anything in front of me.
Usually there is information.
Okay.
There was a resolution passed last year. Authorizing the administrator or the chair of the board to sign a contract with SMRT. So that is not, I can prove.
And we
I
did
know
have
if you-
a big discussion at that time.
This is last year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we did have.
So maybe
lots-
just needed a resurface.
Yeah.
That would have been more
So,
clear.
I mean,
Okay, thank you.
it didn't happen in a vacuum. That's what I want.
I assumed that. I just wasn't sure. Thank you.
So, so yes, we're postponing, but I do feel like we'll have a better and stronger outcome for the delay, and I hope that that works out. Now I hope. Okay,
I believe more and clearer information is gonna help everyone, regardless of what side they're on. All right, so if we can cross the i's and dot the t's, then we should do that. So.
okay. Jennifer Basil, County. We are now still way
Want me to
ahead.
call her?
Yes, thank you, Carol.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Morning. They are going to be ahead of the time that you were scheduled for. Is there any way you'll be able to talk on? You can probably like 5 minutes. All right, thank you.
Mhm.
Hi, Arlen, good morning. Thanks for coming on. You can sit up front, right up. Good.
So the only thing I had today is to request a resolution to create a senior motor vehicle clerk position.
So moved. I have a second.
You have any questions or discussion on the senior motor vehicle clerk? Hearing no questions or discussion, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur absent, Martini.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Powers.
Motion passes again.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Karen?
So it looks like on the form that you are unfunding a position.
Yes, unfunding one motor vehicle clerk
So
position.
is that something you want to take action on
Oh,
today?
yes.
Or
Sorry.
Yes. I knew there was an unfund somewhere in there, you know, on the DSS when it was on yours, but then
And
I
I-
looked at it, I didn't see it.
And I don't know the difference because I don't know which staff is gonna move to that position because they're all at different steps, so.
So when would we do the unfunding, Carol? If we don't know which position we're gonna unfund yet, we better wait and unfund it when.
so you have a couple options. You can hold off, or you can, the effective date that's on the form here is upon filling the above position. And the resolution won't occur until July 1st. So it could be unfund contingent on the filling of the,
Okay, so we
Senior.
can, that way we can
Okay.
make it
Whatever.
would be cleaner that way, that
Okay.
the unfund language gets.
otherwise she needs to come back next month
Yeah,
or whenever.
okay, so we're gonna unfund a position contingent on filling the senior motor vehicle clerk position.
So move.
That's seven. Questions or discussion? Go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur absent, Martini,
Aye.
Marietta absent, Powers.
Good. Now you're unfunded and funded,
Okay.
created.
I
Who
have
got
a
Bill?
question. On this, it says on here on the computer, does the state buy the computers or we buy the computers?
We would buy the computer, yeah. Which I do have that in my budget funds available. Which, the one, are you getting the CFD? No, I'm not paying $100 for one for the, I'm not.
Okay, well, I thought maybe the state had the computers.
I
Okay.
think they should. but-
And we don't have to approve the credit card thing either?
No. No, those, I think this was the only one that rose to the level of admin.
Okay.
Was this one. Thank you, Jennifer.
You're welcome. Have a good.
All right. Moving on to highway. Good morning, Rich.
Morning, everybody.
Hi.
First one I got is I'd like to request a motion to extend and amend resolution 201 of 2025 for transit mix concrete with Otsego ready mix off of this year's bid OTGOV-016 of 26 for the term of 6/1/26 to 6/30 of 27 with the possibility of 3 one-year extensions.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
excuse me, Wilbur absent, Martini.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Powers.
That motion passes.
Next one, I'd like to request a motion to extend and amend resolution 303 of 2025 for Buell fuels at the prices listed below from our bid OTGOV-017 of 26 and approve the purchasing for the term of 8/1 of 26 through 7/31 of 27 with the possibility of 3 one-year extensions from various budget lines across the different departments in the county.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or discussion?
Public Works, they approved to go with the fixed price for everything except for the gasoline. Nobody bids a fixed price for gasoline anymore, so that's on the firm differential.
Okay. Anything else before we vote? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini, Marietta, absent, Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
Next one, I'd like to request a motion to authorize the chair of the board to execute fuel agreement with the town of Hartwick.
So moved.
Second.
So this just means they can use our prices or that they will.
use our facility. The Hartwick pays for, the town pays for all of the Hartwick Seminary Fire Department comes here and gets fuel.
Okay,
The rest of them don't really come. This is the same agreement we did with everybody else. We're still waiting on, I think we got 2 more entities that we're waiting on.
okay. Thank you, Rich. So we had a motion and a second. So anything else before we go to a vote? Go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini.
Aye.
Marietta, absent, Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes.
Next one, I'd like to request a motion to extend resolution 256 of 2025 for propane from Nolan Bottle and Gas Company from bid OTGOV-007 of 23 for the term of 8/1 of 26 through 7/31 of 27. The price that they extended with is the same price we have now, which is $1.53 a gallon.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, discussion? Go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini.
Aye.
Marietta, absent, Powers.
That motion passes.
That's all I got.
Thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
Okay, treasurer's agenda. I think we're on to the treasurer. Yes. And thank you. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, I'm sure this will log us down.
Yeah, I'll try to not bog down. So we jumping right in, we had talked about the short-term rentals, so I have 2 quotes. I worked with purchasing. We can do it at the end, but we should review those quotes in executive session. They come out of the executive session. We can do it at the end. I can come back up later. If you don't think you want to go to executive session, you might want to go through those, but
Okay.
unless you want to, we can.
We kind of need one for Jeanette at 11:35.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe we'll just,
I can come back
I'll
up.
text you when.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
review those quotes then.
Okay.
And then we can come out and look. The second thing on my agenda is our resolution for Tyler Technologies, our unit system. So the resolution that I got at the beginning of the year was for 310,000. I need to increase that to 325,000, and that's essentially because I always forget that the sheriff has his own, but it's all in one bill. So when I did the budget last year, I didn't put that in there. The money's there. It was just in his budget, so the transfer's already been done. We have the money. Money's in the line. I just need a resolution to increase that amount from 310 to 325,000.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any questions or discussion? Go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty.
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini.
Aye.
Marietta, absent, Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
An update in the auction that's in June 30th is the last day to pay. So as of Monday, these numbers, like I said, ran Monday, we had about 140 parcels still left in the auction. There's, like I said, 12 days to pay right now. We've been doing as much reach as we can. I mean, I know that we had at least 5 people pay yesterday, so I know that number's coming down. But yeah, I just wanted everyone to kind of have an update on this.
I thought this auction was gonna be in August.
Yeah, the auction is in August. The last day to pay is June 30th. So right now the auction is scheduled for.
It says auction in 2 weeks.
No.
Yeah, you're right. I meant the last day to pay
Oh.
is
okay.
what I
Like
meant.
after 2 weeks, they go on
They
the
go
track
to the
for
auction.
auction.
Yes, so if they don't pay by June 30th, the auction, I think it's the 14th or the 13th, 15th. Anyway, it's right around the 15th. Probably gonna run into an issue like we did with this last auction in January. With the new laws, the court has to approve it. As you know, we had to move the auction date back in January because the court is rightfully so, taking their time to review all of the cases. So data scheduled right now, but that could be pushed back based on how court reviews the cases. We can't have the auction. For the final.
Yes.
Any other questions on the auction?
No.
Okay. We did always discuss, we had our, for those of you that have been here a while, we always had that, the repurchase agreement. So for those of you that haven't been here, what the county used to do is the last day to pay was June 30th. The county then authorized the month of July where people that went in foreclosure could buy their house back or their parcel back. The county gets charged a fee and a bunch of penalties for doing that. So we just essentially, at the time, it was, you can buy your house back for all the taxes, 10% fee, you could buy that back. The new Supreme Court law came out, that kind of got squashed, saying that you could not do that anymore. So we had to cut that off. I was just at the NISAC conference and a new law was passed that you can do that now. Right now, it's a little late to do it this auction, but for future auctions, it's something that we should think about. It did help. A lot of people did pay. When we issued 10%, I sent some of other counties that I called up briefly, but talking with all of them, 10% is actually quite low. So that's better for us. At that point, we're collecting all our fees back and we're not making a whole bunch of money. So it's pretty fair to the taxpayer. But you can see, I mean, there's counties like Lewis has this whole 10% of taxes plus another 5% of your equalized value plus another 1.5% to cover all of the taxes and another 5% for the full market value. Like Sullivan counties is almost at 30%. So 10% is lower than,
You still pay a fee to the auction?
yes. So that's what it is. So if we allow June 30th is the deadline. That's what we put in the court documents, and then we start approving. So you come and we do allow a repurchase agreement, you come back and you pay it June 7th. Well, we owe the auction company a percentage of what that was, and we have to pay them. We then have penalties and other things that we have to pay for pulling that back out and all of the research. So the 10%, we did the math years ago, essentially covers our fees that we have to pay. There's other people that just, because it is kind of difficult to do this and the administrative work. So there's like 30%, you come in, you're paying this and the counties can make a little revenue. We've never done that before and it's always kind of worked.
That revenue that you just mentioned, is that something that the Hennepin law makes you share back to the homeowner?
And that's where it was before. There was a ruling that like, hey, anything that you made had to go back, which they didn't deem that as a tax, which they said no repurchase agreements. And then they changed the law. So no, that revenue would not go back. We would use that to cover our fees, and that's not a part of the tax, which is why now a lot of counties are redoing the repurchase agreement.
Coming back to, okay.
So
thank you.
it's just a good thing to consider in our future auctions because we did get people to pay. I'm not, so I just wanted you guys to have notes from other counties as I collect from other counties. It's just something to be aware of and look at. But like I said, at this point with 12 days, we don't have enough time to do one for this auction.
Okay, well, that'll be definitely a conversation for a future date.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
bring that up as we go on to next year's.
Thanks, Sam.
I sent everyone just the health insurance updates. That presentation is huge and we've been doing that every quarter. What I guess I want all of you to just look at me, take from all of those pages is pages 4 and 5, because health insurance is one of our largest expenditures here in the county. So it's nice to see the updates. And right now our health insurance is running a little hot. It's going a little over budget right now. And again, nothing that anyone in this room can do to stop it from running hot. People go to the doctors, it is what it is, but it's something that we all just need to keep an eye on. That, hey, health insurance right now is at 102.5% of what was projected that we'd end the year. And so, and that additional 2.5% doesn't say much, but when you're talking about a budget of $15 million,
Kind of a big amount.
it's a decent amount. So I just wanted, and feel free to dive into that. If anyone dives into the whole thing and has any questions on anything in that PowerPoint, let me know. But pages 4 and 5 are kind of the big summary of what, of what you want to look at. So this is the next one that I sent you in the email. It's just a cash spend update so that you guys can see. This is the first month that I have not been comparing it to the full prior year. So now I'm comparing it to the exact time period of prior year. So 23, 24, 25, and 26 are all compared through June of those fiscal years. And you can see where the spend and where the difference is. Like I said, I ran these numbers on Monday. They've changed since then slightly, but you can see that right now in 26, we're in a slight deficit, revenues to expenditures of about $234,000.
But not nearly as much as we were last year.
Last year at this time period was 3.8, and 2024 was 4.4. So it's down from where it was, but things can change, you know, I mean, that's just,
Yeah.
it's a snapshot in time, just so you can see, where we're at. I gave you guys the sales tax stuff, the reserve balances, the unpaid taxes. Does anyone have any questions on any of those documents that I attached?
I do not see any questions coming up and
Okay, the one thing that I had to add the following day is Phillips Lytle, our auction company. So I do need a resolution for them for our 2025 in REMS, which if nobody paid would go to auction next year. Because of the new Hennepin law, we have to start this process 6 months sooner than we then will start this till November or December. We have to start now earlier to give them more time. So I need a resolution for them not to exceed 350,000. That number is budgeted. The only thing that changed in prior years is their legal fee went to $390.40 instead of where it was is $347.20. The main reason for that is the search fees that they are being charged to do the required tax searches being. That's not going to affect us any. The only time that number affects us is any parcel that goes to auction. We obviously don't recoup that money. So every parcel gets charged $390.40. The county has to pay the money to Phillips Lytle, but we collect that money with everyone that comes to pay the tax because that's a legal fee that we're required to put on the tax.
Yeah.
So right now, if all these 140 parcels went to auction, we would lose about $350 each if they don't sell for their tax amount. So as you recall, I think last time in between January and March, we had 14 parcels that we lost $41,000 on because they didn't sell for their tax amount, so the county got. So, that's that whole little explanation on the Phillips Lytle.
okay. Do we have a motion? Oh, Monica?
Oh, I just was gonna ask a question once it's up for discussion.
Okay, so we're gonna get to that. So do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Okay, questions or discussion?
Was this the time we needed to do the RFP? I remember there were a couple of years that you had authority to do it, but I don't remember where the cutoff is. Can you refresh my memory?
We've never done an RFP for Phillips Lytle. They're the only ones in the entire state to do this. I mean, you can, if you want to do an RFP, that's fine. I'll do an RFP, but it's going to delay everything. And I guarantee that they're the only ones that do this, but I'm happy to do one.
I think we might have had a discussion about that. That they may not necessarily be the only.
Well, they've already started the 2025 process, but I'm happy to pause it. I'm happy to do an RFP.
I recall that there was a time period that you were going to do the RFP. I don't remember if it was 2025 or for the following year. So if you can refresh my memory on that.
I've never heard of being an RFP.
I feel like we did talk about an RFP with regards to the auction somehow, but I don't know if it was for this year or for next. Like the ideal time to run the RFP would be like early in the year, maybe like.
You'd have to run it
January.
because of the new Hennepin law. You'd have to run it in like either November, December, or kind of February, March, because this process has to start in like April, May.
Yeah,
And then it goes through, and then you have to start the whole process because it's a year and a half that you have to give.
yeah. I just seemed like we might have talked about it that now that Monica mentioned it. I didn't know there was anyone else out there that could do it, but.
I've never heard of any other county ever working.
We've reached, I believe that Denise reached out to other counties and they do RFP. Maybe a suggestion would be to go forward with 2025 and begin the
I can,
do the RFP for 2026.
that's
I
fine.
wouldn't want to pause anything that's like in play for now. There is the opportunity to do an RFP, we could show
I
them.
can reach out to Ondog and I can have them issue an RFP for the 26 in REMS. Like, hopefully they'll know, but when I go to the treasurer's conference, I've never heard of the company ever. I don't even know how it writes.
We can certainly help with that. I know that if my memory serves, and I'm sorry, I'm not at my best. I think that one of the counties that Denise reached out to had Phillips Lytle, who had responded to the RFP.
Yeah,
that
they-
was selected
I'm
from
sure they
3
would.
vendors. So it seems like there might be other people out there that do that. We might end up with Phillips Lytle anyway. But they certainly are willing to respond to RFPs because another county, I think, did.
So how about a discussion with our purchasing agent and we'll take it from there, but we're okay with continuing on for the ones that are in play already,
The
not
20
pausing anything,
The 25,
taking a look at it for the next year, the
26 in
26.
REMS,
Okay,
which would be in 27.
okay. So that's some discussion. So with regards to the 350,000, are we ready to vote on that? Vote to a vote, Carol?
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini,
Aye.
Marietta, absent, Powers.
I
Okay.
know also did votes on it, but there's a lot of new board members. So Phillips Lytle essentially we've been working with them since 2018, 2019. So the foreclosure and the in-rem process is very, 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 and it's very time consuming. So you have to go through and you have to find every single parcel that's hasn't paid their taxes. Usually it's anywhere to start between 900 and 1,200 parcels. And then you have to do research on every parcel and you have to send first-class mailings, certified mailings, track those. If those all come back on all those parcels, you then have to physically go to the property and you have to post the property all in a required certain time period. And you have to track every single penny that you spend on every single parcel. And then you have to give that to the court. So at one point, our office with the county attorney's office used to do all of this. And kind of like November, December, January, back in the day, like everything would cease in the treasurer's and the county attorney's office because for 3 months we would do nothing but send 1,000 letters, certified letters. Because if you have one property that has 2 owners and 5 mortgages, you're sending a first-class letter to every single one of those people, a certified letter to every single one of those people, and then you're tracking all of the letters that come back and the amount of money that you spend. And then if all of them come back, you're then going to each owner's property and posting those and letting that so Phillips Lytle essentially does this for counties and we just literally send them a list. They do it. And in the end, I say like, the cost to us is nothing. We don't pay a dime for this because they charge that legal fee that I said. And then we just put that on the tax bill. And then when people can pay taxes, we just here Phillips Lytle client and we just send them to them. And up until just this last year with Hennepin, you wouldn't lose any money because all the surplus money you collect, you keep, and that would cover the deficit of the ones that you sold. Now, you can't keep the surplus of the ones that don't sell for tax. Now, the county takes a loss on. But other than that, to the amount of work, like I said, 3 months we'd shut down and they do it all. So that's the quick thing on Phillips Lytle.
And like Alan, you and Dan Kroll, we're going out and like pounding in signs. You know, this, I think your time as treasurer is.
We would travel around to all the doors and danger, like people would kick us off and scream at us.
So can I ask a question? What do you estimate would be the percentage on which the county might be taking a loss? Is it a pretty low percent?
So the first auction we had in January, and then now you have the new thing, you have to do another one. You did one in March. I'm gonna look. I know we lost $41,000.
Okay.
The county took a deficit. I want to say it was around 14 parcels, but that was the first ever auction that we couldn't keep the surplus. So that one was a low amount. There were 121 parcels, 14 sold at a loss. So your percentage is low, but still, that was only the first time.
Gotcha.
So we'll see how.
Collecting data as we go.
Yeah, and the economy. So COVID comes out, and when we could keep the surplus, people were paying $80,000-$90,000 for a foreclosed house that was burned down in trash.
Mhm.
Now, with the economy tightening and everything going that, I don't know who has a lot of free cash to spend in parcels, so it could. We'll see.
We won't truly know till 3 years when
Yeah,
the other funds are released.
and that's the
It's
other thing.
already-
Yep, so right now,
We won't close the books. We won't close the
Opportunity
books.
that.
Actually, right?
Come
Yeah.
forward and get it.
yeah,
I
and
see.
And that's so Representative Frazier makes a good point. So right now,
You-
we've got the 105-ish accounts at the bank with this new Henderson law.
Mhm.
And there's roughly $3.5 million there. We can't touch that. That's for anyone. I foreclose on your house, you have to go through the courts. The courts say you're good, then we have to give them the money. We've had probably 20 people claim the money so far. But if
They
all
have
that
up to
money's not
3 years.
claimed, yep, if all that money isn't claimed, so March 25th, I think was our auction, March 25th of 2029, that money's not claimed, all that money comes back to.
Gotcha. And are we able to collect interest on that money while we're holding it?
So interest is in there, but if anyone claims it, they get the interest. So the accounts that are not claimed, yes, we keep the interest, but if we foreclose on you and you go claim it, you get the interest on your specific.
Gotcha.
So Alan, I know there would be a benefit to shorten that window before that time period where, no further claims can be made. Do you think that that's get any traction to shorten it down from 3 years to 1 year? I mean,
You could
But it-
petition the.
it would have to be a
state.
Albany thing.
Yeah, it'd have to be an Albany thing. I don't think that it's gonna catch traction with property owners, but I think that there's certain instances. So if you're the property owner, claim it, but we have several accounts down there that are estates that people have died and there's no one managing the estate, there's no family members, that it's just not gonna get claimed. We have people that we know for a fact have left and moved out of state and didn't want the land and have told us like, I'm not paying for that land, I don't want the land, and they just leave. So eventually those ones we're gonna get back. It'd be nice to get it back sooner.
County sold us for us, so we'll go get them.
Yeah, they go try, but so the legal process to get that money is not easy.
It's a little.
It's
challenging.
it's a little challenging. So I know some people are just like, yeah, I'm not. Some people hire attorneys to do it and attorneys will take a percentage of what they get. But
Okay, well, that was just a question.
Yeah.
Okay,
So there's a good chance we make back that 41,000 or whatever.
let's hope.
Yeah.
We'll know,
Plus.
we'll know 3 years from now. Is when
Thank you.
when it
Fair
happens.
Correct.
No, that's a great question. Thank you. I didn't even bring that up, Representative Frazier. So that's a perfect point to make. The other thing that I included that I wanted to go over before I get into real property. So I have been working with kind of other treasurers in the comptroller's office because I know Steve asked quite a bit about fund balance. So I tried to put together a fund balance so you can see our main funds, our general, our road, our machinery. Workers' comp has not been started yet because workers' comp is slightly different. The workers' comp fund balance is not actually audited, it's just in a management letter. So I'm just gonna wait for that new letter to come out. But you can see When we did general, obviously our biggest fund, our road and our machinery. So that general fund, I color them as restricted account that the board has restricted: tobacco, stop DWI, solid waste, opioid, and ambulance. And then you have assigned that you've also restricted, but they're more assigned for certain things. It's not actually a restricted account. Those can be moved, but they act similar to a restricted account, which is the EMS education funds, the election machine maintenance, CAC has some donations, and the mental health transition fund. So you can see basically you have a beginning fund balance. That number is highlighted because those are very, very conservative estimates. I put about 7 million in there. I think it's closer to 12. But based on calculations, I just went low over high. And then I do the revenues to date, the expenditures to date, it gives you a balance. And then what's projected in the budget and certain encumbrances, those grow every day. So this is accurate as of Monday. This changes all the time. And then it gives you all the breakdown of the fund balances. So there's always the question about unassigned fund balance, because that's like the county's cash. Although that's not really cash in the bank. That's like this make-believe number that if we paid all our bills and whatever, we'd have this much money. It's kind of hard to explain. But in the end, if everyone's looking at the restricted, whether you're looking at the restricted and the assigned. So restricted and assigned, we have about $5 million. The board at any time, they could get a crazy lawsuit and have to pay out $20 million, whatever it is. The board at any time can be like, we need money. All of those funds, with the exception of opioid, all of those funds we're putting into unassigned fund balance. So right now, the board could grow the unassigned fund balance by 5 million in one resolution. Or you could shrink it by restricting more funds. So that's kind of the look on that. And then you can see where the general is. You can see road. Now, road and machinery don't really have a fund balance. They rely on the general fund.
Because we
just
move
fund
it
them.
over to them.
Yeah, they can have a little bit here and there, but for the most part, it's usually low. It's less than $500,000 because the general fund is the main fund. So as you can see in here, we just haven't done the transfer yet, and we're waiting for the final audit to come. But you can see road has a surplus fund balance beginning of about $2 million. Machinery has a deficit of about $2 million. They're just going to balance them out once the audit's done, where we kind of just make them zero or a little more than zero. That's why one looks really negative. That's why one looks really positive. This is also the reason why you guys look at the bank, you always want to see a little bit of cash. Like I said, we have right now roughly $12 million in investments, and we have probably another 6 or 7 in operating funds. So we're fine with cash when it comes to cash. But that's why, like, department heads, I talk to department heads all the time. They don't like me for it, but they're always like, hey, by the way, listen, I brought in $100,000 in revenue this year. Please restrict that to my department, and I want to build that up every single year. So if every department got to restrict all of the revenue they bring in all of the time, the county would have no savings, no unassigned fund balance, and the comptroller's office would actually be like, you guys are in fiscal stress because you have locked up all of your money, and you can't be doing that.
It would just sit in the line until it got used.
It would
Like
sit
say,
there, yeah.
The bill's not coming till November, but we're not touching it until then.
Which is
Meanwhile,
why-
it could be sitting in the bank earning
Yeah.
interest or whatever.
And I get department heads, I get why they want, I mean, they're like, I brought in this revenue, like it should be mine, but we're all part of the county. So yes, thank you, but we all have to work together. I could be like, I do all the sales tax, so could you guys restrict that $48 million from my office every year? Because I want to use that money for my, like.
So we're cooperative.
Yes,
Yeah.
we all have to kind of be, otherwise, like I said, right now, no fiscal stress, the county's fine. We've got the comptroller's audit every year, it's fine. But if you continue to restrict more funds, every department gets one, that where you could get into a little trouble. But I will always have this for you every month. Our audit, I just spoke with Sarah this morning, our audit should be done within the next 30 to 45 days. And we will actually get, here's your numbers. I will input those and then we will track those as we go. Right now, I'm throwing in estimates in there based on our 2024 audit. And then when you look at this, I'll give this to you monthly, but because this is the number today, we might have got a huge revenue on Wednesday. That's not these numbers. This number changes every single day. So just be aware of that. I'll provide this to everybody so that they always have it.
Thank you, Alan.
And then you have my updates. Well, I won't go over my update because it's in there, but if anyone has any questions on that update I give every month, please ask, but it's kind of just a summary of everything. The last thing I want to mention on the treasurer's thing is, well, it's treasurer's in real property. June 30th, I'm having a very large presentation in this room at noon regarding the Eagle View software. So Eagle View is this GIS software that several counties use for public safety, for highway, for map viewing, for everything. It's absolutely crazy what it's done. I have quotes from them. Town assessors are very interested. Towns are very interested. It is pricey, but if each town pitches in a very small amount, and the county pitches in a very small, and I'm talking small, like $3,000 or $4,000, we would be able to get this software. And I know the towns are very interested in pitching in a small amount like that. But the presentation is going to be June 30th in this room at noon. I'll have all the assessors here. Several town supervisors are coming. Several department heads are coming because this software can be used for, like I said, if DSS needs to go to a house, they can scout the house out before on their software, and you can get all the way down to levels where you can literally see in windows. You know, if the sheriff's office has to do a raid, if highway can look at the how well the road is, be like, oh, we need to redo that road instead of traveling out there and looking at it. They can look at culverts and see broken culverts in there and be like, you know, so it's good for all departments around, which is why a lot of people are coming that day to watch this presentation. There's no other questions. The only thing I wanted to bring up is the exemption for real property regarding the fallen police officer spouse exemption. I don't know if anybody heard that, saw that. That was passed recently at the state. It is not going to have a significant impact on this county, but I do believe several counties are doing it, and I do think it is something very good to do. The real brief of it is that I said in there is that if there is a surviving spouse that resides in the county, they were a fallen police officer and the spouse resides in the county, the spouse is not remarried, the spouse can get an exemption of 50% on their property while we're there. So you don't have to pass it now, but I sent it. If it's something you want to act on now, we can do that. We can put that exemption in place. If not, we'll wait. I know all of you have heard about the veterans exemptions, the new senior aged exemptions. Those are all good exemptions, and me as a veteran, I think those are great exemptions. However, those could have a very significant impact on the county. And Larry and Joe, they're all doing the analysis on it. We're going to get that. But if we're like, yes, let's pass a veterans exemption because that's what we do. Agreed. But you could be getting called that why'd you raise my taxes 30% because there's so many veterans that are eligible. They get the exemption. Everyone else's tax go up without you guys even raising one tax. So I know that Phil has talked about that. He wants to bring that. We're doing the analysis first to see what effect it will have. Kind of.
Don't take an exemption now.
Yes. There's the combat veterans exemption. There's two other veterans exemptions you can get.
So what do they want to do? Raise the amount?
So this one is the veterans exemption that Phil was talking about, is that if you can prove that you've got a disability from the VA, that you can't work and you have these other letters, it's in there right now, that you get 100% exemption. You don't have to pay property taxes at all. Which is great. Thank you for doing that to veterans, but it could have a significant impact on everybody else. So my opinion is, I think the board should absolutely consider it. But don't just jump in. We should do the analysis first to see how it could affect each town and each person, so that you can say, you can go to the veterans and say, we looked at it. It's gonna raise taxes. It's gonna hurt more than it's gonna help. And I think the veterans would understand, thank you for looking into it. Or you're gonna say it's not gonna do much and we'll do it for the veteran, you know what I mean?
And
Is
so
that,
people
is
are,
that primary resident, or could they go out and buy different pieces of property and get exemption on all?
I believe right now it's primary residence.
You could write that legislation to include only the primary resident.
I believe you can, yes. I have examples of the legislation. I've been more doing the analysis and reading it to make sure, but yeah.
Else is gonna be, if we exempted everyone that has eligibility, then it would make this impact dollars worth off the levy that would be made up by everyone else in the county.
Yeah.
So everyone else would go up, even though we did not raise the tax.
And that's why it's good.
That's the analysis and the number I think that the board needs.
Yes, and that's what I would agree, that I think the board, yes, we will consider it. We want to see how it's going to affect everybody. And the same thing, so they increased the senior star exemption. Larry just ran a whole bunch of reports yesterday that I haven't got into. He did the analysis. We need to go through it because you could increase the senior exemption amount. But I know a lot of counties, when I went to the real property directors thing last month, are not doing it because it's going to shift a lot of costs
the other,
onto others. And it's great. This seniors, that's great to do, but just look at the analysis. And you could look at the analysis and be like, we don't care. We think it's great. Let's do it. That's fine. But it's just kind of smart to,
I have a couple more questions.
yeah.
Does it prevent veterans with disability from moving here?
If you don't do it,
No, but I mean, say, that, well, we were gonna go to, they're down someplace else and they wanna come to Otsego County, they're gonna move in here and we're gonna give them the exemption.
if they move here, yeah, you think they would get the exemption.
Okay, next question is about the police. Does that include state police, village police, sheriff police? Everybody that's in the county is a,
Anyone that's a police officer, if your spouse dies in action, the spouse would get a 50% exemption. A 50% exemption until they remarry or obviously move out of the county. I brought that one because that one is hard to do an analysis on.
Mhm.
Because you can't run police officers, like we can look now, who's getting the veterans exemption now. We can look at that and we can see where that would affect. The
Right.
senior, we can see who's getting that, we
No.
can see. This one is different, so I don't, like I said, personally, I didn't see where the county has, 500,000 police officers and they all could, I don't think that the line of duty death rate in Otsego County is high. So that's kind of why I was bringing, yeah, I know, I hope not. That's why I think that this one is not gonna have a massive impact on everybody else. And it's something that, and we don't have to vote on this now. You all have what a resolution looks like. You can all look at the state legislation in there and we can bring it
and you're
next
gonna
month.
have some, like a sort of a look at it, what the impact might be, or they're not researching this, there's not really a way to research this.
Yeah, that one's up for you. I can't run a report like who's a police officer. I could run, here's an estimated number of police officers we have. Here's kind of the percentage it looks like, but. And we could do that one too. And I'll bring that back, but I wanted everyone to have it to explain. And all of these exemptions that are coming out now so that everyone sees. I know the state is like, let's do this, and that's great. People are petitioning, let's give exemptions to veterans, let's give exemptions to seniors, let's do that. But
It's tough
there's
because
thoughts, yeah, that
young people are moving away.
young people are moving away. Yes, let's do great for the veterans. Like I said, I'm a veteran, let's do that. But if me getting this exemption is going to increase everyone's taxes by $200 or whatever, that's
So we'll look forward to hearing
all of
what your
that.
department, what everyone finds out.
Yeah, we'll do the
That'll
best and
help us
see.
make a decision.
And we'll go. Any other questions? Sorry, that was the whole exemptions are.
Yeah.
I'm still learning exemptions stuff, so. I think that's it. Sorry, that was so long. Maybe I just got the back on track.
We'll see you again when we have our executive
I'll come
session.
back up for the executive
Yeah.
session with the.
And so I'll let my town supervisors know that Eagle View is gonna, and you've already sent them an invitation.
Yeah, everyone's got,
Remind them.
invitations been sent to all the towns, everybody around to, well, that's.
And if they use it, they can contribute, right?
Yeah, what we would do is we'd get a username, we'd share it with everybody, and
Uh-huh.
we would hope that there'd be a small contribution, because based on the quote that I got, it would be a small from every town.
It sounds like it could be a thing that could really be helpful.
Yeah,
The $3,000 is the total cost or just our share?
that would be our share. So right now, not that I want to share, I have the quotes I can show you, but an estimated $3,000 to $4,000, even a little less from every town, and the county pitching about that much would cover the annual costs.
This is just an eye in the sky.
Yeah, I say eye in the sky. Tammy's seen it, and she probably explained it when it was out on the GS, but it's what you see on the screen, what you get. I'm telling you, like, you can see like shingles and in like people, obviously it's just a shot, you're not live viewing windows, but you can see, and that's why for culverts, for Rich, instead of driving out and going around, you can look at it. If the sheriff's office like that has to do a raid, you can move, you can pan around houses, be like, okay, this is like a good vantage point, this good. DSS has to go to a domestic violence case, they can look around, see what's going on first, so.
And your assessors can say, well, there's a new building, or they built this and they built an addition onto the house, or like anything that could make the assessment
that's-
go up.
And that's what it is. Tax levy is what we bring in, and the assessors like us so much because, let's face it, not everybody gets a permit. It is what it is. So they could hear a rumor that, oh, this house is putting on this deck or this addition. And instead of going out there and causing a scene, they can just pull right up there and be like, oh, dang.
It's an invasion of privacy.
There we go. No, every other county has, I mean, there's a lot of counties, counties surrounding us have it. So if we get it, we can then tie into, and you can look into other counties. So. The invasion of privacy, yeah, this is not something that we would share, like, we wouldn't give this to, like, here, public, you can use this. They would use our parcel bureau that we have built. This would be for internal use, like the sheriff's office, for the
Professional.
assessors, for the professionals that would need that data.
Yeah, well, everything doesn't stay where it usually.
Yeah, you go.
Well, we hope that.
Technology always comes at a price.
Yeah,
Really?
but
Very
come June 30th,
Yeah.
Like a lawsuit?
They would have to. sue
Well, then
them.
you'd have to, I
You'd have to
guess
sue
what
the
we're
company.
talking about is a reasonable expectation of privacy. And in these days, like, nobody can have a reasonable expectation of privacy.
yeah, like,
so
this
I
isn't
don't
live,
know.
it's, I say like looking in a window, like, that's just how detailed, like, they're not actually taking pictures in the window, it's just, that's the level of detail you can see. It's pretty cool.
Or
And
pretty
terrifying.
uncool.
Yeah,
And
no,
I know
it's
it's
both. It's
terrifying,
both.
yeah. And I'm not a GIS guy, like I said, Tammy's Levi
So
over there.
don't go.
Joe, wow.
Somebody's gonna see you. Never done.
Well, it's not a live view.
Yeah. It's not a live view. It's a snapshot of time.
Listen, everybody's being monitored all the time anyway, whether
Yeah.
we know it or not.
One snapshot in time. But yes.
Okay,
good question.
thanks. Of course, you couldn't get away without just a little controversy.
Just come June 30th. It's a great presentation.
Okay, thank you very much, and we'll see you a little bit later.
Yep.
All right. We are now. Sammy Reed.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Sammy.
My first request is to purchase a floor mixer for Central Kitchen from Smith Housewares. That's at a cost not to exceed $17,350.
So moved.
Any questions or discussion on the floor mixer? Hearing none, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur absent, Martini,
Aye.
Marietta absent, Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
And second is a request to accept funding and to contract with St. Peter's Health Partners for our Alzheimer's Caregiver Respite Grant in the amount of $20,000.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Yes.
McCarty,
Yes.
Wilbur, absent, Martini, Marietta, absent, Powers.
Okay, the motion passes.
Thank you.
I have a
Okay.
question.
Yeah,
How's the senior picnic?
when?
Yeah.
Wednesday, September 9th. We got it away from that, first Wednesday of the month, so you could attend.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Tammy.
Have a good day.
Too, thanks. And going on to Department of Health. We have
Let's go.
anyone from the Department of Health coming on? 10:20, and we're at like 10:11, so. Let's see. If anybody. Tammy, do you have a several part agenda? We're a little ahead, so,
Yes.
but if you wanted to do like one of your things.
While Alan is here, would we want to, be the big thing, but while Alan is here, would we want to talk about the transfer station? Or do we want to hold off?
That might be a good time to talk about the transfer station. We have a couple minutes before the Department of Health comes on.
Okay.
Yeah, so yes, come on up.
Still here. Person want me to hold here?
You can sit wherever you like.
Somebody else pops down, I can quickly fade back into the background. On our agenda, I broke it into two sections. One's the planning stuff, the other's the solid waste. So item 2 is solid waste, the Southern Transfer Station. There's a number of resolutions affiliated with this project. And just a reminder, we are looking to renovate the Southern Transfer Station, demolish the MSW building that's existing because it only has so much time left on repairs. And that would be after building a new MSW building, municipal solid waste building, that will be larger and have more clearance, better for the new truck technology. We'll have a new traffic pattern on the facility, so keeping residential and commercial separate from each other. Right now they intermingle, and it's we've had a lot of close calls, and so we want to try to keep those folks separate from the big trucks. And then it will also involve renovations to the recycling building and opening that up on either side so that, again, residential and commercial can access it from opposite sides. And then it will create a brand new residential drop-off area that, so they won't even have to go across the scale. They'll have their own attendant area that they will pay at a little building and just dump into the bins from there. A lot of new pavement improvements, concrete in certain areas to deal with the heavy trucks. And so we got the bids back, and it is at $6,454,596. A lot of discussion at SWEC about how our best approach to that. And so there's a series of resolutions here, but I'll just kind of give you all an overview. The idea is we have $1 million in the solid waste reserve. We would pull $750,000 from the reserve to get the project going. And then we need to authorize a ban for $6 million. You'll see that's higher than the amount, but it's recommended that we borrow a little bit additional so that if something happens and we need those additional funds, we don't have to go through the ban process again to get more money. So we authorize a little above that. So we would authorize the ban for $6 million. We would need to transfer funds from the solid waste reserve into our budget. There's a couple steps to that. And then we need to award the 4 contracts associated with those renovations. Oh, and I should note, we just for an update for those of you on SWEC, we went to the City of Oneonta Planning Commission last night and the project was approved. So we are good with the city.
Good. Good to know. Okay.
Otherwise, this is a much different conversation.
Okay. And we did talk about at SWEC the idea of issuing the ban. Alan, you were there and kind of talked us through some of that and how the money to pay it back is going to be coming from user fees?
A combination of user fee and tip fee, but yes, through adjustments to our fees, we will pay that. We've budgeted for that, and so we will
For
budget that
out
payment.
years,
So
so.
we will pay the county back for that cost
As we
over
go.
time.
Okay. So the request, you wanna,
So the first one is a resolution authorizing a ban for $6 million.
So moved.
okay. We have, discussion or questions on the ban for 6 million. Sound like a lot. But,
Yes.
okay, so we had a motion and a second?
Yep.
Okay.
And
Questions
hopefully
or
it
discussion?
doesn't fall down in the wind.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Yes. We have a way to, we have it planned out how we're gonna pay it back. We have it planned out how we're gonna get it issued with Alan's working on that right now.
Yeah, we're gonna 6 million. First payback won't be till next year, interest only. But it's in the solid waste fees and whatever we'll have to put up front. We could pay it off early if we want. We could see what the interest rate we get is. Right now, they're shooting between 3.5 and 4.25. If it's higher than that, we should probably look, but that's kind of where the estimates are.
Thank you for presenting that, Tammy, and anything else? Carol, you're good on the motion and second? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent Martini,
Aye.
Marietta, absent Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
Next resolution is transferring funds from the solid waste reserve. So that's the A389911 fund. That is the reserve. And ultimately, this will end up in our maintenance and repair line for $750,000.
We have a motion to make the transfer.
So moved.
Questions or discussion? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent Martini,
Aye.
Marietta, absent Powers.
Good. Passes.
So that's the resolution to authorize the funds moving out of the reserve. Then the mechanism to do it is the budget modification. So we need a budget modification to increase our maintenance and repair line by $750,000 and moving those funds from A42770, which is miscellaneous revenue.
So moved.
And do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any questions or discussion on budget mods? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent Martini,
Aye.
Marietta, absent Powers.
Okay, that motion passes. So now we've got Cheryl on the screen, so we'll
Can
jump.
we hang off on awarding the bids then for the?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
in your second.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Tammy, for filling in that gap. Hi, Cheryl.
Hi, sorry I was late.
Oh, no, we were early. You're just.
Oh,
on
okay. I
time.
was like,
You're-
I'm like, oh no, was I late?
Yeah, 10:20 is your time, so you're still well, you're actually early.
All right, good.
So go ahead when you're
Okay.
ready.
So the first thing is approval to accept grant funds, additional grant funds for the Children with Special Healthcare Needs Community Accessibility and Inclusion Grant from the time period of October 1st of 2026 through September 30th of 2028. The amount will be $31,450 per year for those 2 years.
So move.
Second. Questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent Martini, Marietta, absent Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
Okay, and then with that same grant, it's my understanding I'm supposed to be asking for a resolution in the amount of $31,450 that we will spend on just the sensory room that's been approved under that grant.
So move.
Second.
Questions or discussion?
Where is the money going? Who's,
This is how they're going to spend it on a sensory room. Like they've already determined, like when they get the money, this is how it's gonna get spent.
do we have like the recipient of the money, budget lines, any?
Cheryl, do you have the budget line for that?
Let me see, I do, hang on. The budget line is, A 4060 dot 547830. And it falls under federal aid, other public health expenses.
Okay, so is that where it's getting put into, or that's how?
That's
where
the appropriation line, yes.
Okay, and then the expenditure line?
That is-
Revenue line?
Oh, that is it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And so you have a revenue line as well?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
It's 4060 444010.
okay.
And it's the
Alright.
same, it's the same title on that line as well.
Okay. Thank you for providing that.
No, no problem.
Good. Okay.
All right.
We had our motion and our second. And so we will go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty, Wilbur, absent, Martini, Marietta, absent, Powers.
Okay.
Okay, that motion passes.
Okay, the next is to approve, approval to accept the Public Health Emergency Preparedness Grant for the time period of July 1st, 2026 to June 30th of 2027. The total grant amount is $52,099.
So moved.
Second?
Questions or discussion? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini, Marietta, absent, Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes.
And then the last thing we have is we are preparing for one of our staff to retire. So we are looking to have approval to hire a temporary family service specialist for training purposes for our early intervention program.
So moved.
Second.
And this sheet has been signed off on by the personnel officer and county administrator. But parent committee?
I signed one of
Oh,
them.
you have parent committee one? Okay.
I was going to say it was signed by parent committee.
Okay, great. Okay, good to know. Figured, or we wouldn't be here. So we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini,
Aye.
Marietta, absent, Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes.
And that's all we have for today.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Tim here? Oh, Tim is here. Hey, Tim, come on up.
I've just got two budget modifications and one transfer related to the newly created budget lines for the farm. I'll read the two modifications first together. Modification of revenue from the sales of scrap and excess metal A 426500 moving to farm maintenance and repair. A 1324 to 545660 for an amount of $700. The next modification is the modification of revenue from the sale of scrap and excess materials from A 42650 moving to farm materials and supplies A 1624 5000 for an amount of $700.
What was your first one amount?
They were both for $700. There's $1,400 in the
Oh, okay, there. I was
revenue
getting
line and we're
confused.
splitting.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's already in.
We have a motion to do those budget modifications.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to a vote. Kennedy? Aye.
Excuse me, McCarty?
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini?
Aye.
Marietta, absent, Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
And then to the transfer of funds from contingency A 1990.54800 farm heat and lights A 1624.541,000 for an amount of 3,000 funding for the utility expenses associated with the 3 electrical services recently acquired.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or discussion?
So I reached out to and yesterday about the lease for the farmer. We're anticipating some revenue from that property. I think we'd be able to reimburse the contingency for that money, that when we collect that.
Oh, that would be great.
So there is revenue coming to offset this.
And my question is, it's in the best interest of the county to keep those utilities operational, not to discontinue service.
We're still
I'm figuring that out.
figuring it out. Look, the one service is for the White House on County Route 33. It's it's in the middle of a renovation that stopped years ago.
Oh, yes.
It's got it.
yes. So that one maybe we could,
So that one had a minimum fee of like $19 a month so far. And we've got it off, so there's no.
so we're figuring it out.
Yeah, and there's 2 main farm services. There's one for the main farm and one for the well and the yellow house. No.
Right, but getting some rental money would help with that, so. Okay. We had a motion and a second, so anything else before we vote on this? Go to a vote, Carol?
Kennedy?
Aye.
McCarty?
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini?
Aye.
Marietta, absent, Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
That's all I have.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Tim. Okay. All right, Tammy, back to you.
Just for continuity, we jump back into the solid waste.
Yeah, we can do the with this.
Okay. So these all need to be separate contracts, so separate resolutions. First resolution is to award the general construction contract to Upstate Companies LLC for $5,286,000.
So moved.
Questions or discussion? Go to a vote.
Kennedy?
Aye.
McCarty?
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini?
Aye.
Marietta, absent, Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
The next is to award the mechanical contract to Trefetson and Son LLC for $225,800.
So moved.
Questions or discussion on mechanical contract? Go to a vote.
Kennedy?
Aye.
McCarty?
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini?
Aye.
Marietta, absent, Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
Next is for the electrical contract, and that is awarding that to Blanding Electric for $502,996.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Questions, discussion? Go to a vote.
Kennedy?
Aye.
McCarty?
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini?
Aye.
Marietta, absent, Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
And then the final contract is the plumbing contract to A. Trefetson and Son for $439,800.
So moved.
Questions, discussion? Vote. We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy?
Aye.
McCarty?
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini?
Aye.
Marietta, absent, Powers.
I think that motion passes.
I do have a question. What's the timeline for when all this is gonna start?
Into July.
This year? With What do they do to start? Tear something down or?
No, sir, Bill, no, before we start tearing things down, we'll want to get the new one built so we can maintain operations.
Oh.
So the current MSW building won't come down until the next one's ready to be used.
And the timeline on the new one up is what? Any idea?
I don't know the exact timeline on that, but the goal right now is still to be able to complete this by the end of the year. So there's some indoor renovations to the recycling building that, you know, can happen later on. So get the outside stuff done at the outset. And Delta is already getting the contracts put together, so hopefully we can have the attorney's office reviewing those kind of before the board meeting, so then we can just really hit the ground running in July.
Thank you.
Gonna be tight, but.
Thank you, Timmy.
So jumping up to our planning items. The first is a resolution to apply to the New York State Department of State Smart Growth Community Planning Program. We went out and got a few quotes from different consultants. We had an extensive conversation with one of them, and that resulted in kind of a higher quote. So with that in mind, at IGA, we decided to go forward with applying for the amount that aligned with the highest quote. So we have that room to, we'll probably come in under that, but we have that money to work with. That was $370,500. That would be matched with staff in kind for $43,600. That's over 3 years. So taking all the planning staff, and that's about 45 minutes of work a week. So it's doable over 3 years. Obviously some weeks we'll be doing a lot more than that. Just some changes from when I presented to all of you in April, so you can be aware of them. It was a 90-10. They switched this year to actually a 75-25, but because we meet some markers, we have a higher percentage of housing burden population, and we also have several childcare deserts. We were eligible for the lower match amount, which is the 85-15. And we do need to make sure this year a priority is to include childcare friendly practices into the plan. So we should consider in the planning process how we can support projects that allow for childcare services to expand, which I imagine is something that would come up in the process anyway, because so many people struggle with childcare in this county. But so we need a resolution for our grant application.
Questions or discussion? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur absent, Martini, Marietta absent, Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
Thanks. And then the last one, I had a conversation with Representative Marietta about doing the IGA portion of this before the board meeting, and hoping we could get admin approval today and the IGA before the board meeting for a late resolution. And it is to amend the resolution awarding the contract for the Cooperstown trolley to Leather Stocking Trolley. We had a lot of back and forth with Leather Stocking Trolley regarding, you know, small business and how we have set up the contract to be paid out. In our resolution, it says monthly. And so we want to look to amend that to allow for weekly, so we can keep the cash flowing for them. They had wanted to take the not to exceed 69,000 and split that equally across the term of the contract. But in our RFP, we said, we're paying you for the hours of service you provide. So we want to stick to that, paying for the hours of service. So our kind of meet in the middle was, we can pay out to you weekly. We can keep the cash flowing for you and pay you for the actual hours service provided, not just give you the not to exceed amount.
Oh,
Without having actually performed all those hours
pay
of
it
work.
back some of it.
Yeah.
They don't hit that metric.
Right.
Okay, so they'll be reporting in their hours that they work each week, and then they'll
Yep.
be paying it out that way?
Yep.
Okay, so we have a motion?
So much.
Second. Now we're having a little discussion. Any other questions besides for mine? Okay, well, thank you for working on that, Tammy. Come to an agreement. We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini.
Aye.
Marietta, absent, Powers.
Aye.
Okay. That motion passes.
That is my agenda today. Thank you.
Yay. So Steve from the Youth Bureau. On at 11, so we have a little bit of time in between now and 11. I think that we could ask Isaiah to come up and do the IT agenda. Here you are.
I need to read it twice, but I can use the same one.
You're right on time to come in and fill the gap. Oh. Okay, well, great.
Okay, so I only have a couple items for you. I'm requesting a motion to renew our Unitrends Enterprise Backup Software with Insight from the account code A1680-546-400. And I'd like to change the amount, if you don't mind, to 12,000, just in case there's a change in price over the next 2 months.
Okay,
So moved.
any second on that?
Second.
I'm gonna have to wait until Representative McCarty comes back. Nope. Okay. All right, so you had a motion and a second. Any questions on the backup renewal? Hearing none, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty, absent, Wilbur, absent, Martini.
Aye.
Marietta, absent, Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
So the next two items are just for information discussion. Last month I brought to you the request to downsize our Zoom licenses. We did downsize it by 47%. And essentially what we have right now is each department has their own Zoom license to be able to share with the members in their department. So anybody have any questions on that? Okay. The third item I have, I sent out a report of printing activities for the county to you yesterday. I'm not sure if everybody had a chance to read it. It was a little delayed, sorry. Essentially, I outlined how much the county is spending on printing activities for a year, and we're looking at about $111,000 in printing for the entire year. What we're looking to do is we're trying to find a way to reduce the costs in that printing. And I would like to bring in a vendor to talk to you guys in August to talk through the software they have and what they can do to bring down our spending on printing. They claim that for within a year, costs will go down by 30%. So there is that. So I'd like to bring them in to talk to you if it's okay with you. And we are also in the middle of a survey for all of the printers throughout the county, with a bunch of leases coming up. We're trying to right size all of our leased printers. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. See if you had any questions.
No, but obviously some departments do a lot more copying than others.
Yes. Kelly Walrath and our Ed vendor have been going around to the different buildings to get an idea of where all the printers are. And what we're looking at right now is essentially we lease a whole bunch of MFDs for the different departments, and those are the scanners, printers. Each department has one of those or two of those, but we also have a situation where there's personal printers on them, quite a few individuals' desks. And that's a lot of cost on our end, on IT end, because we're providing toner for different printers, paper. Our techs are constantly having to go out and fix them when they break and replace them. So we're hoping to kind of draw down how many personal printers are out there. So, and that's what this presentation in August is going to be about.
Okay, well, more to come, so.
I will work it out. Thank you. That's all I have.
You don't have it, okay. Right, no, that is your page, okay, thank you. Thanks, Isaiah. Um. We have a contact for Steve Andrews. I know he usually joins by remote, but there's no way to get in touch.
I mean, I can send him an email, but that's no guarantee he's going to read it.
But I think it's even maybe
Let's start. I'm trying to see clearly. It's hard these days. I'm not that small, you can see me okay. No, my vision at the moment is that bad. Don't worry, next week the doc's gonna pluck the whole thing out, put a new one.
no medical discussion during my time. I'm not a medical professional.
Do not talk about plucking out eyeballs.
I think easy.
I do have a number possibly can call him on.
Oh.
Would you like me to?
Yes, thank you, Carol. We're gonna try and have Steve Andrews come on early.
I just texted him.
Oh, okay. Carol's gonna try and call.
We're quiet today without Wilbur here, you know.
Noted.
What are we gonna do?
Revel in silence.
Well, you could fill it if you will.
I don't wanna fill his shoes, no.
Picking on anybody.
I don't wanna pick on anybody.
Okay, good.
Like Jennifer Faisal asked that you step down. She didn't leave the paper to sign.
Oh, okay, I will do it. Unless somebody from your office has it,
Right.
I'll get it signed.
Or we can just send manual together, sign it with the rest of you.
Oh, okay, yeah, I wouldn't do that night.
I see you almost.
Chuck, how are you? Snack.
Oh, it's good.
Around.
I like everybody's snacks. I have sufficient snacks, anybody has. Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Well, I watched them every meeting. He goes in the whole.
He's checking.
Oh, okay.
Monitor Leslie's. Like, Leslie gets stuff out of snack snacks and she.
Oh, no. He said, now I know where they are.
Oh.
I was telling, I'm very aware.
Oh, okay.
You have no idea of the candy going.
Yeah, that's how Ellen almost did it, yes.
For
And did you get the one?
candy bars that are mass grade.
Okay, yes.
Excellent.
Oh, Susan, let us see.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Susan.
I hear you're
running early.
But we caught up a bit with,
Oh.
Steve Wilson, Steve Andrews. He's going to jump on.
Okay,
And then we'll be ready to segue right into you.
okay, I'll sit tight here, thanks.
Thank you.
Unless we don't get in Steve.
Steve?
Good morning.
Hi. Can we see you, please?
Okay. No.
We are still not seeing you.
Okay, I can hear you. Maybe that.
Oh, there we go.
Perfect, okay. The
Thank
red,
you, Isaiah.
okay, I
Okay.
thought it was a setting. All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Great. So we are ready to go ahead with your agenda.
It's just one item. I wanted to provide you with an update of what's going on with the Youth Bureau to date. We're still waiting for the allocations. The state has passed the budget. We're waiting for allocations from the Office of Children and Family Services that I can start the process of seeking the approvals and move that forward for next year's allocations and state funding for all the programs. We're currently at 28 programs, and we're pending one application from Lawrence Youth Sports for next year's funding. I haven't received the final application, but that is hopefully forthcoming, and that will be sent to the youth board for review and then their approval if it warrants an allocation. My evaluation has been completed and is awaiting review. I didn't know if you had any questions on that or you've gotten a chance to see those.
I haven't seen it yet, but
Okay, well, they're delayed till September, I believe, so.
okay.
The other point I wanted to make was we have vouchered for the reimbursement of the New York Swims lifeguard retention and recruitment grant. I've been hounding them and haven't received any word as to when our allocation will be sent. So I got Alan involved and he's helping me follow up with that reimbursement to the county.
Okay. Right.
That's pretty much all of my memo. Like I said, we're continuing to work in ClearGov. I have all the first quarter objectives and priority outcomes and essential activities updated, continuing to work with recruitment of volunteers and internships, as well as the board, keeping them informed of what's going on. The state is proposing a few changes to the timelines that they want to receive claims for, as well as they're tweaking the not priority, but the outcomes that they want to document data for all the programs. So I continue to work with my representative from the state and state officials on that. And I don't think it'll be overly onerous, but any change is still a change and has to be handled in the back end.
Okay. How about a little info on your proposed project to work with the clerk's office on the parents as
Yes.
drop partners? That sounds interesting.
Partners as driving partners, the Parents with Partners program. It's Putnam County and several other counties have had success with this. It's a formal agreement between the parents and kids that they will take steps to be proactive and good drivers. I've talked to some of my colleagues at conferences about some of these programs, and they do have success. So I'm going to help her with some, and my volunteers are going to help with some of the documentation and getting the word out to county, towns, villages, and the city of Oneonta.
Okay, well, just keep us in the loop and you can tell the towns about it when we go to our town meetings.
Absolutely. Yeah, Jennifer and I will keep you in the loop for sure. And I think it's a worthwhile project that's in line with what the Youth Bureau should be doing.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody. No other questions?
Yeah.
Steve, Ed Frazier, I got a question. You mentioned about active recruitment of new board members and a good cross representation of the county.
Yes, sir.
Are there spots in the county that you feel you're missing some representation that you'd like to reach out? If you forward some of that information to us, we could put the representative that represents that district on that task of helping to find someone you may need. So
absolutely, that sounds like a good plan. And there are still towns and villages that don't receive any funding, and I've reached out and haven't heard anything, but I know a lot of partnerships within the town areas go on. So I will look at that and certainly ask you for your help later in the summer when we get closer to doing a final recruitment drive for those positions.
Okay, thank you. Look
Thank
forward
you.
to it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Okay, thanks so much. Okay. All right, Susan,
Hi,
go on to your agenda. Thank you.
can you hear me okay?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. And I don't know if Jacinda's in here or not yet. If she jumps on, then I'll give you guys an update in revenues. But the last report that we did on revenues was that we had sent a series of claims, and they were about 900,000. It was for two quarters, last year's quarter and then the first quarter of this year. We have received some of that money. I just don't have that number right in front of me. But we reported at PSLA. It was several hundred thousand. I'll try to get it from Jacinda. The second item is just an update on the lease for 189 Main Street. We have the lease mostly, oh, here's the number. Thanks. 568,000 of that 900,000 is what we've received of that to date.
Okay.
So about the lease for 189 Main Street for the assigned council program. Last week I viewed an additional space at 189 Main. So the landlord alerted me to the fact that there's another tenant that's vacating. So there's a different space available in that building that actually would probably suit the needs better of the ACP program. It wouldn't require any renovations. And it's not that much more expensive. So we're still working on that. We want to make sure we can cover the difference in the rent. It's like a $300 difference in rent per month. So it would be worth figuring out. So we're getting closer. The third item is the ACP MOU. So we've circulated that with PSLA and the county attorney's office. Once that it sort of gets wrapped up, we'll circulate it with you folks. So probably something to review for next month. So we'll get that emailed to you in advance of next month's meeting.
What's an ACP?
Assigned council program.
Good.
So we had created that new department. We have the positions ready to go. It's taken a while to sort of get that program up and running, but we're moving closer. The next item is a motion that I need to extend the temporary part-time assistant public defender position. So we had created that position, approved it for 3 months. The position is filled right now. I'd like to extend that for an additional 6 months, up to 6 months. That person is just temporary and they're filling in for someone who's on medical leave.
So moved.
Second. Questions or discussion? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Clover absent, Martini.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
The next item is another motion. It is to create, fund, and fill a second legal fellowship. So we have one legal fellowship that's completely grant funded. We've completed the first year of that fellowship. We posted to fill it again. It's a 1-year fellowship. So we posted it again. We had 2 applicants and they're both like really good applicants. They've both interned with our office in the past. So I'd like to actually have 2 legal fellowships. We found money in another grant to be able to fund it through January, the second legal fellowship. These 2 folks that would be with us, both as legal fellows, they've finished law school, they're studying for the bar exam, they would be admitted to practice in January. And both have expressed an interest in staying with the office as attorneys. They're both local too. They live right here in Otsego County. So it's a really good opportunity to recruit and keep people here. So anyway, personnel has approved that second legal fellowship. PSLA had approved it contingent on personnel approving it. I'll bring that form over to the building for signatures, but it's 100% funded, including fringe. It's the exact same position as the legal fellowship that already exists. The idea would be that the legal fellowship would end in January when these folks are admitted. And, you know, I'd have positions for them, attorney positions for them at that time. I'm happy to answer questions.
Okay, do we want to make a resolution, motion to create, fund and fill the legal fellowship?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, any questions for Susan? Discussion?
It's the same.
Okay. We don't have any questions on that one. We're gonna go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini.
Aye.
Marietta, absent, Powers.
Aye.
Okay, so that motion passes.
Okay, the last item is regarding the assigned council program coordinator position. So this was approved by PSLA in May. And we were gonna discuss this, it was gonna be part of the discussion with ILS today. I goofed on the scheduling of that, so ILS is actually gonna come to this committee next month to talk about the ACP program and everything. But the coordinator position is the third position in that program, and they would work closely with the managing attorney and the clerical staff to sort of help build that program and get it up and running. I guess I did not distribute the job description. So I don't know if you want to ask questions about that now, if you'd like to just wait until next month to talk about it more, you know, when we're talking about the whole program together. Or if you have questions.
If it's okay with you, Susan, I would just prefer to like put it off until we have the ILS people come, and next month we'll have a full presentation, and then we can also look at that as well.
Okay, that's fine.
If the committee is amenable to that. Okay. All right, so that's what we'll do.
Okay, sounds good. That's all I have.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks very much, Susan.
Thanks.
Okay. Jeanette. You're here. Must have got the memo that we were ahead of schedule. You can come on up. Do we have anything prior to the executive session?
I have a
Yes, you
budget
do. You have a
mod
budget. Yeah,
and budget.
okay.
So budget modification to move $74,100 from A 4310-444-900 to A 310-548800.
Okay, we have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or discussion?
Yeah, what's that, A 310-548801, is that?
So we get federal, or we get salary sharing money, and we have the deadlines each year we have to send it by. So we're moving some of this to pay to, we hired we contracted with a new nurse practitioner to help cover her.
Okay. Any other questions? Thanks, Jeanette. We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, absent, Martini.
Aye.
Marietta, absent, Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes.
And then the budget transfer is transferring 13,000 from A 4310-545,000 to A 4310-548800.
So moved.
Second.
And it was 13,000?
13,000.
And,
This is gonna be added to the 74, is that what?
Yeah, it's. It's all gonna go together.
to do the payroll. Yes, okay. Any other questions? Discussion? Before we go? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur absent, Martini, Mariana absent, Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
Thank you. Executive session.
Ready for the executive session? Okay. For, let's see, medical, financial credit or employment history or a particular
Employment.
person or corporation, or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation. We have a motion.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye. And we're going to invite in with us. Nat, we're going to have county administrator and Jonathan?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you voted on that? You said yes?
Oh.
Well,
I don't know.
all those in favor say aye. Aye. And we will be coming back into open.
Yes.
Do you want to go ahead and?
Oh, and the other reason is, I think the same for
Yeah,
Alan's
for
reason
Alan.
is the same. Yes,
Yes.
thank you. And we're going to invite Alan into the session as well. Okay. Okay, we are now live again, so I'll entertain a motion to return to open session.
So move.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're now back in open session. And Jeanette, if you would, we will entertain your request for a resolution.
First, I'm requesting a waiver of the RFP process for outsource of billing due to the current backlog in billing, the potential loss of revenue, the time-sensitive nature of the situation, and the established working relationship with Beacon Solutions. Beacon Solutions has already been actively involved in investigating the issues, identifying root causes, and developing solutions that the county is moving forward with implementing. Requiring an RFP at this stage would likely delay critical corrective actions and further impact revenue recovery efforts.
All right, we have a motion.
Second.
Okay, so any questions about waiving the RFP process? Go to a vote.
Kennedy?
Aye.
McCarty?
Aye.
Wilbur absent, Martini?
Aye.
Marietta absent, Powers?
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes. And then next,
And so with that, then I'd like, with the waiver, I'd like to contract with Beacon Solutions for a 6-month interim billing assistance agreement not to exceed $70,000.
So
questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy?
Aye.
McCarty?
Aye.
Wilbur absent, Martini?
Aye.
Marietta absent, Powers?
Aye.
Good, that motion passes. Here you go. Thank you, Jeanette. Thank you. Okay, now we have one more item, on behalf of the treasurer, to request to enter into an agreement with Decker Technologies for $41,800 for the language that anyone can provide, but to this in short-term rental processes.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So.
Okay,
Second.
any other questions or discussion? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy?
Aye.
McCarty?
Aye.
Wilbur absent, Martini?
Aye.
Marietta absent, Powers?
Okay, that motion passes. Anything else? Okay. We are going to adjourn the administration committee meeting and move into the budget workshop. So do we have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Okay, we are now adjourned from administration committee.